Hi, everybody. This is Kid Holmes. It is Tuesday again, Transformation Tuesday. It is March 9th, 2021. And today, I would like to address a sticky wicket kind of thing that I'm sure we've probably all been through. Procrastination. Don't turn off your camera. Procrastinate before you turn off your watching this live stream or clicking through, if you will. Because I think it's important. There's this really interesting phenomenon in us when we experience procrastination. It's on the one hand, we know there is something that we want to do, we need to do, we should do that will change things and move us forward often into a place that we say we want to go. We want to clean up our living space. We want to organize the garage. We want to clean up our finances. We want to clean up our relationships. We know that a conversation with somebody very important to us will change the relationship. And if we're growing and improving and we want to change that relationship, those are vital, right? And yet all of these things we know would be good for us as we define them, good for us, we're terrified is really what the procrastination is about. We are terrified of the change that is going to take place. More importantly, the change that's going to happen within us to move things along. So how do we deal with it? How do we deal with the inner child or the whatever it is, the inner monster that is having the hissy fit about doing this and justifying all of the reasons why we should, why we shouldn't, and then we sit down and we do a pro and a con list and we say, well, there's more in this column, and so I'm just going to let it go again and not deal with it. Maybe it'll just go away. But we aren't being emotionally or spiritually honest with ourselves when we do that. But let's take this apart. Let's look at the fear. The fear is a natural response to anything that our nervous system deems threatening to our well-being, to being able to stay alive. So there's part of that. And I talk about this often, and the important thing to do is when we recognize the feeling of that procrastination and the fear behind it and the hesitancy, is to simply give it a voice. Recognize it for what it is. It's fear. It's fear. And say, okay, fear, I see you. I know you exist. And in my conscious choosing to be more loving, more compassionate, more organized, more successful in my life, I'm going to use my wisdom, my more developed self, my more mature self, my wiser self, my more experienced self that says, if I don't do this thing, most likely I'm just going to end up keeping a cycle going where I feel bad about myself, which erodes my confidence to make good decisions and to move forward when I'm faced with something that I'm not sure I really, it's like, oh yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable to do this. So number one, acknowledge the feeling, acknowledge the fear. The second thing is know where you're going. Keep that in your focus. Where do you want to go? What are you aiming for? Whether it's in your business or your finances or your relationship or something to do with your health. Putting off a test that you know that you should probably have, a simple baseline test to tell you where you are. Where do you want to go? That's the most important question. And more importantly than that is, who do you want to be? Do you want to be somebody who has the confidence, who has the self-esteem to say, yes, I do what I say I'm going to do? That's really important. And I know most of us know that feeling when we shortchange ourselves. Man, it's an awful feeling. I know it well. I've done a lot of work with it and around it. And so being able to lean in, you've got to have something to lean into. I worked through some irritation and some irritability today and some not wanting to do some certain things. And I went back to that place. Where do I want to go? Who do I want to be? I have on my desktop a quote from Gay Hendricks. You can look him up. And it says, it's this reminder to me, Who am I being loyal to by not doing what needs to be done? And if you think about that, loyal is a very powerful word. Am I being loyal to the opinions of others about what I should and shouldn't do? Am I being loyal to my fear about making a change I know I want to make in my life? Who am I being loyal to by not doing what needs to be done? So I invite you to take that with you. It's a powerful piece of information and a very powerful saying to move you forward. You might be a person who can just go ahead and jump right in and say, yep, this needs to be done, going to do it. But I can guarantee that if you are that kind of a person, you have practiced leaning in and jumping in and saying, yep, I might not like it, but I know it needs to be done. I'm going to guess. So we all have the opportunity to do more practice, do we not? So I invite you to that practice today. Think about who you're being loyal to or what you're being loyal to by not doing what needs to be done. And then take that step. And I guarantee you, the more you do it, the less you will experience that icky, icky, icky feeling of procrastination. And if it feels icky, simply acknowledge it. Make a different choice. All right, everybody, I love you dearly. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you next Tuesday. Thank you for sharing this video. If you feel so moved and inspired, please send your love offerings to Unity of Wimberley, and you can find all those places at the unityofwimberley.com website, all those places to share your gifts. And I do appreciate them. Thank you. Have a good week.